And no, Deanna is not crying because the Blue Jays broke our hearts. It is tears of happiness as a redemptive free skate from her and her partner Maxime Deschamps deliver their third consecutive Skate Canada title. Hi, I'm Asher Hill, and we have so much to recap. Skate Canada International was our third stop on the ISU Grand Prix, and Piper Gillis and Paul Poirier join Deanna and Max in Golden Bliss as they put the whir in work and collect their sixth consecutive Skate Canada International. That's crazy. Japan's Mone Chiba continues her meteoric rise amongst the Japanese stars, and it is ever clear that Ilia Malinin can only be beaten by Ilia Malinin as he smashes his own world record. Joining me, my partner in recap, the V contest of spin variations, Kaetlyn Osmond. Kaetlyn, how are you?
Good, Asher, how are you?
I am fantastic, and of course you were commentating the women's event here at Skate Canada International. How was that?
It was definitely an adventure. I love commentating and I love watching women's figure skating, which is great, but it was strict. It was a very strict panel. They were reviewing absolutely everything. And when things are under review, things don't count.
And that did not stay only in the women's event. All throughout the competition, it was super strict from the technical panel, which, I mean, I guess that's better, but you want scores to be a statement to your other competitors. But let's get into it, starting with the pairs. Max and Deanna shake off the disappointments of Angers a few weeks ago to claim gold and secure their place at the Grand Prix final. Germany's Minerva Fabian Hasse and Nikita Volodin led after their short program, but settled for silver after two falls in the free, and we will see them at the Grand Prix Finlandia Trophy, and we will see how they fare there. USA's Ellie Kim and Danny O'Shea have one of their best skates in the free skate and come away with the bronze despite a slow start to the season after a injury-laden pre-season. But let's talk about the Canadians. Deanna and Max, they're back on top, beating out one of their main rivals, the Germans. And they were not leading all the way through. They were second after the short program, and the short program looked visually pretty good, but then we found out that they only got a level one back inside death spiral, and Deanna was pissed.
Yeah, it's very easy to tell in the kiss and cry if something didn't go the way Deanna wanted.
Absolutely. You should have seen the interview with Anastasia Busis after their skate. But that, coupled with the disasters at Grand Prix de France, was enough fuel and fire to get them to absolutely send that Vicente Amigo free program choreographed by Lori Nickel. The side-by-side triple toe, double axle, nailed. Throw triple loop, got it. Throw triple sow, she came out like a bat out of hell. Smashing those phalanges together and into that final lift. It was like, vamos, Maxim, get me into the air. And she just whipped him right into his face. I thought she was gonna give him a headbutt. But this is the statement that they have been needing so far this season. Don't you agree, Kaetlyn?
I completely agree, and I find that free program has really gotten its footing, and they're able to perform it the way that they performed their vampire program back at World Championships in Montreal when they had won. And I think that was such a standout program, and this is finally getting to the point where I'm seeing that fire and that passion again. And of course, there's still room to grow. There's still the double sows that need to be a triple by the time they get to Olympics. But overall, you can see that they're figuring things out this year again.
And of course, it's just Skate Canada. They do not need to peak yet. They will have some time before the Grand Prix final in about 4 or 5 weeks. Okay, let's talk about Leah Pereira and Trent Michaud. They were fourth here, had a stunning moment in the short program, finally breaking through that 70-point benchmark, a standing ovation from the crowd here in Saskatoon. Well, not here. I'm in Toronto. And Saskatoon, it was such a big moment for them, and it would have actually been higher if they didn't get a timing violation, but the free was not as good. Very uncharacteristic mistakes from Leah Pereira.
They are great performers, and I read a lot of comments after the short program that said that they look like dancers out on the ice, which I think is a huge compliment for pair skaters. And yeah, the free program, it has a lot of really great moments. Their lifts are spectacular. Uh, but I don't think I've ever seen really Leah make a mistake on her jump. She's such a strong single skater, and the popped axle just kind of looked like she got scared or forgot to jump. It was a strange situation.
Yeah, the triple tilt was so solid, and then it just like
Yeah.
became a waltz jump, and then the sow, and then the throw flip, which is new for them. But they kept it positive. They were really happy with how they did in the short program, and they're holding on to that as they head to their next Grand Prix, which will be Grand Prix Finlandia Trophy, where they will rematch with the Germans. And quickly, shout out to Kylian Lauren and Lucas Etier. This was their debut. They had an injury in summer, a cut on her leg sustained by Lucas, and then it got infected. They were only able to get to full training and jumping a few weeks before Skate Canada, but they seemed pretty happy with their skates. They were fifth here. Let's head on to the ice dance. Gillis and Poirier, count them. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Need another hand. 6 Skate Canada international titles. Second place went to Lithuania's Reed and Amber Levichis. They take silver to make it a 2-medal Grand Prix season with their bronze at Grand Prix de France. And they actually beat Piper and Paul in the free dance here. Will they make the final? We shall see. And Le Joie and the Gaz remastered White Crow free program pull them up to bronze medal position. Yes, Piper and Paul, they make it a sextuplet of golds at Skate Canada International, and emphasis on the sexy, because they debuted a rhythm dance to RuPaul's Supermodel, You Better Work, and I'm Too Sexy. I don't always like their rhythm dances immediately. They have to grow on me. This is part of their segment that they're usually behind in, but I loved it. It was camp, it was glam, it was fashion, it was charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent. What did you think?
I usually love their rhythm dances because it brings out so much of their personalities. Both of them really are these extravagant human beings, and the rhythm dance really shows that and shows their personality and their quirks and all that amazing thing. But this rhythm dance feels like it was made for them. And well, Paul grabbing his own booty in it is by far my favorite moment. But
Absolutely.
also the whole thing, I find it is so them, and I'm really looking forward to it growing throughout the rest of the season.
Yeah, I quite like their character step sequence, that final lift into that editorial ending. It was everything, and I can't wait to see it again. I can't wait to see it again. I think RuPaul was such a good choice. It's figure skating. I know a lot of people don't like to say it, but it can be a little queer, It's Swarovski. It's very drag. It's very drag, so bring it. I love the outfits. But let's talk about their free dance. They have brought back their Vincent Van Gogh free dance. I think this was the one that made them finally break through and make a name for themselves and given them the status that they have right now. Of course, it is remastered. They even talked about how much they had a connection to it, and it was hard to break it apart again and put it together, and it was just as spellbinding. Of course, they've adapted, they've changed things, but disaster hit as they enter that curve lift where Paul changes direction to a right outside spread eagle, and you can see his left foot is just shaking all over the place and is not able to get Piper secure into the position. They save it, but it's a level 1, and they pay heavily for it. They actually come second in this free dance with a 1:17, but kind of like last year at Finlandia, where they fell and were beaten by the Brits, where they got 116. This is kind of ringing true again, but it's better for this to happen earlier than later. And Kaetlyn, interestingly enough, they will be going head-to-head against Fournier, Baudry, and Cizeron in Finlandia. And it's not lost on me that their programs, especially the rhythm dance, are similar in that they're doing Vogue and they both have corset leotards on.
It will be interesting to see it back-to-back and see who's progressed, who's kind of trying to kept it the same. But they are still two very different styles of voguing. So curious to see how that's going to match up. But then the free program, they're kind of both skating to their strong suits, which is what you want on Olympic year. You're going to skate to your strong elements. But we'll see. I have no idea. I never know what's going to happen in dance. It's like a toss-up and hope for the best, and that's all.
Yeah, long gone are the days where it's like, you wait your turn. If you started there in 1974, maybe you'll get to the world podium by 1987 after everyone's dead and retired. It's much more exciting and unpredictable. So let's head on to the young Canadians. Marjorie Lajoie and Zachary Laga, their rhythm dance made me absolutely out of breath. I think it was a space jam. The crowd seemed to love it. Just a little bit of disaster struck when he missed her leg on a assisted jump lift in the character step sequence. But speaking of things that make them feel comfortable, they brought back their iconic White Crow program from their 2022-23 season. I thought this, for me, just like Piper and Paul, was the one that kind of really put them on the trajectory to aim for those top spots. They haven't quite broken through yet. And here, just like we talked about off the top, the scoring or the technical panel was very, very tough. And Zachary Laga had something to say about it.
We're a little bit disappointed with scores. Like, we don't know what happened, but whatever.
I love the rhythm dance, but I also really love the contrast of the rhythm dance to the free dance. I love that the rhythm dance is out of breath, but that I always found with them is that they're always in a rush to get somewhere, but it's exciting that way. And it draws the audience in. And then the free program, I love to see that other side of them, and that takes your breath away in a completely different way. And it gives the goosebump moments, and it is incredible to see them progress. But as I said for Deanna, if things aren't going well, you can see it in her face in the kiss and cry. Same thing if you don't understand dance very much, like I do. I have to have the rules in front of me pretty much the whole time I'm watching. Look at Zach's face at the end of the program, and you'll know if they made a mistake or not.
He's secretly a funny guy, but he is the tortured artist from the White Crow. He is the White Crow, and I think you did say Deanna, but you definitely meant Zach. He will let you know when he doesn't like it, as he did in that interview.
I said it earlier with Deanna, so I was just comparing.
They're the same. I mean, imagine them both staring at you. You would be dead just from
I said
their
the
pupils.
same thing this weekend.
This is why we're partners now. Yeah, that's it. Quickly, Marie-Jade Loriot and Roman Lagac finished 7th here, adding to their 6th place finish at the Grand Prix de France. Very strong skates here. Again, very low technical marks. Level 1s and steps for both of them in the rhythm dance and free dance. But of course, their main competitions are Paul Air and Alicia Fabry, who will be heading to NHK next week, and they are the ones that they will have to watch out for come nationals for that final Olympic spot. Okay, Kaetlyn, your commentary event. The women taking gold, her first Grand Prix gold ever, Japan's Mone Chiba, and USA's world silver medalist Isabeau Levito struggles with under rotations and will take the silver. And Ami Nakai concludes her Grand Prix debut with the bronze, and a trip to the final could be hers with that win in France. Mone Chiba, she's continuing her international success from last year. silver at both the Grand Prix, silver at the Grand Prix final, bronze at Worlds, and now a gold here at Skate Canada. Kaetlyn, I know I've said this before. I hate Romeo and Juliet, but I love Mone Chiba more. And so I just absolutely love that free program.
I was gonna say, by the end of this year, you're gonna need to love Romeo and Juliet.
I refuse. I know it's Olympic year, so everyone's bringing out the war horses, Firebird, Romeo and Juliet, Carmina Amburana. Like, you know, I know that they're coming, but I just got to get along, you know?
Yeah, but Mone is incredible. I love it when skaters do the contrasting short and free program, so that you see two completely different sides of her. Caitlin Weaver choreographed Mone Chiba's short program, and she said that a big part of wanting to have that program for her, and she had a different one choreographed for the season, but decided to go back to it. But she wanted to go back to it because it shows off her fun and charming personality, which I think it did so well. And then the free program to Romeo and Juliet demonstrated that power and classic movement and the skating skills. I am never going to get over Japanese skating skills.
The knees. It's in the knees.
But now, crossover should not get you from one side of the ice to the other so effortlessly.
Yeah.
I need a lesson.
Let's plan a trip to Japan just for CrossFit lessons.
I'm in.
She scored a 148 in the free program here, pretty competitive to Ame Nakai's 149 that she got at Grand Prix France, and Kaori's 148. We still need to see Wakaba Higuchi, who will be at NHK and Skate America, but we've talked about the Japanese depth of talent in the women's. It's going to be such a battle to choose 3 of these women.
Exactly. Every Grand Prix event that's happened so far has had either a Japanese sweep or at least 1 or 2 Japanese skaters on the podium. And they only have 3 spots for an Olympic Games, and they have way more than 3 skaters trying to get that. So I'm glad I'm not at Japanese Nationals, but I'm excited to see the outcome of it.
Yes, 9 Japanese women on this circuit right now. Okay, we have to talk about the Canadian women. Madeline Skis is the highest finisher. She finished 9th, but was 12th after a disastrous short program. 12th, that's the bottom of the barrel, a sub 50 score. 2 falls in the short program. You don't want to have any falls in the short program. She had 2 of them. Kaetlyn, the free program was a little bit better, a bit watered down. She didn't show much heart, but she is having a tough season, and she is not doing herself any favors with Skate Canada to be like the clear favorite for Canada's solo women's Olympic spot.
It is really hard to compete knowing that there's 1 spot for an Olympics. You've been on top of the podium for this amount of time already so far. She was the last, the women competitor for Canada at the last Olympics, so she's wanting to do that again. But now she has people nipping at her heels really closely. And that does add a lot of stress on an already stressful year. She's had to decide what program she wants to do for the short program because of having to battle music rights. Still unclear if she actually has the music rights for Black Swan and if she has to change into another program again. But there's a lot to deal with, and unfortunately when you do make a mistake in a short program especially, you need to put that behind you, move on with your life, and get into the program as fast as you can. And I find that is what she struggles with the most, is when things aren't going well technically, it pulls out the choreography also. And she did try to get it back towards the end of the free program and perform the ending of her Butterfly Lover program. But at that point, it's almost too late. And I hope the watered down free program did give her enough confidence that she's able to move forward into her next Grand Prix event with that confidence, and hopefully it starts looking up for the rest of the season. But it's going to be a tough nationals even here, and there's only 1 spot to get there.
Yeah, and full disclosure, I did choreograph Maddie's Black Swan short program, and I do get to see her at training often. And, you know, training was going pretty well, but I know talking with Nancy Lemaire, her coach, that she gets really, really nervous at competitions, but she just needs to remember that she's seasoned and she can do this. But we got to talk about the people who are nipping at her heel, even though she did beat them. Sarah Mal Dupuis was 8th in the short program with that Madonna Ray of Light short program choreographed by David Wilson. Super fun. Great to see her skate clean here. She goes for the triple axel in the free. It's another step out, and it's kind of very, very messy from there on out. And then in 12th place at making her Grand Prix debut, Juliana Sherieva, she actually skated well. She is a technical skater. She was 7th in the technical element score, but dead last in her PCSs. So, Kaetlyn, what did you think of these two women's performance at their only Grand Prix this season?
Sarah Mode's short program is incredible. I think it is the most suited to a program she's ever appeared, and she has that confidence that I'm really enjoying. But the free program, and this is where that risk of the triple axel is where I'm questioning, but I think she needs it in her repertoire to remain competitive. So I hope she continues fighting to get that triple axel in the program, but not letting it be the only focus in the free program. Because if there's a mistake on it, or if she's happy because she's on her feet after it, she can't let it fall apart for the rest of the program, which is kind of what happened. And then again, she's another skater that if the technical elements aren't happening, then it pulls away from the choreography and the performance. And then Juliana, I'm really impressed with her. I've seen her at our national championships, and I know she doesn't have the strongest PCs, but it is improving just very slowly. And the technical elements are there. They appear. She was nervous, but it's also her first Grand Prix event. And I'm hoping she gains the confidence in that to start looking more at the second mark.
Yeah, because her technique is so efficient. I can't imagine she can't do a transition, turn into a triple flip out of nowhere. I refuse to believe that. Her technique is just so solid. But we will see. Of course, this is her first Grand Prix, and all will be told at Nationals. And of course, Madeline Skizis has a second Grand Prix. It is Finlandia, the last stop of the Grand Prix Series. But let's head on to the men. Ilia Malinin.
Here it is.
He wins by 76 points. Enough
That's
said.
so ridiculous.
It's crazy. Let's just win by another short program, I guess. I don't know, but silver medal goes to Estonia's Alexander Selevko, claiming his and his country's first Grand Prix medal in the men's event. And Kaetlyn, talk about sibling rivalry. His younger brother, I believe, Mikhail Selevko, is also competing for Estonia. He was at Grand Prix of France. He finished 8th, but there's only one spot for Estonia in the men, and they're duking it out. And spoiler alert, Alexander might be winning that battle. And bronze goes to Japan's Kao Mura, who salvages his Grand Prix run with the bronze after a 10th place finish at Grand Prix de France. I guess we got to talk about Ilia Malinin. He is just, I really don't have words anymore. 76 points. That's all I got to say. His last 3 jumping passes, because they're in the second half, he gets an additional 10%, earned him 60 points alone.
Yep.
That was Madeline Skizis' free program tech score. Just 60 points.
One jump in his program. The combo at the beginning is almost 20 points. That's just the jumps. And I have to say, his choreography and his performance has improved tremendously. And I think that is really what sets him apart. Not the choreography part. I think that's on par with a lot of other people. But what sets him apart as being a champion and everything is just the improvements that he continuously does. The first year that he won the World Championships in Montreal, he had to battle for it. He really had to fight to be on top of that podium, and he could have just let it stay that way and remain the person that he was winning that first world championship. But instead he's pushed the boundaries, and not in the jumps, because he's doing the same jumps as he did back then, but he's improving the parts of them that wasn't up to match the rest of the skaters. So he's adding in that artistry that some people get, some people don't. I appreciate it. I really like it. But he's not just saying like this is going to be an easy year.
He doesn't take his success for granted at all. Like in his free program, you could see that he was really paying attention to the details in his program, connecting to the music, being patient and allowing us to feel the movements and the story with him. And kind of like what you said, some people get it, some people don't. But remember when you were like, I don't know, young 20s, I think he's still a teenager, I can't remember his exact age, but he would put up like lyrics on Facebook and they meant so much to you. And like, that's where he is, and he's bringing it to his skating, and I appreciate it so much. I think he's done such a great job. And, he didn't max out on everything. Some spins were level 3s, step sequence was only level 3, and he has spoken, and we can see that there is more room to go. And he sat down with Anastasia Busis in Saskatoon talking about potential quints, because we can just do that now.
Apparently. I've stopped questioning anything when it comes to him.
Should we be on Quint Watch soon?
I think we should, and we'll probably see that after the Olympics.
Well, he said we gotta wait till after the Olympics, and you, of course, can watch the Olympic Games starting February 6th to the 22nd on CBC Gem. But again, you'll have to wait till Worlds next year to maybe see a quint. Let's talk about the Canadians pretty quickly. Roman Sadovsky, 7th, and Steven Gogolev, 8th. I think they're a package deal because they have literally gone head to head at every competition, and Finlandia is the next one. So, both of them had pretty good short programs. Stevens was clean, didn't get the triple toe off, but Roman was doing so good, and then a fall on the triple toe in the triple combo. Free program, they just switched places. Now, Roman has beat him at Cranberry Cup, and then Steven Gogolev beat him at Double Horn, and now Roman has beaten him here, but it was only by a quarter of a point. How do you compare these two? And it's just going to be a battle between them all the way up to nationals, but we still have Keegan Messing to potentially deal with.
I think Roman and Steven are just having fun with this now, but it's working. That being at the same competitions, I think it's making them more comfortable, and having that internal battle between them and that camaraderie, I think is really helping them. Steven has been lights out to me this year. I have not seen him put a smile on his face even for the last number of years, and now his short program is fun. He's quirky, he has a smile, it looks easy. And then Roman, again, also looks like he's finally getting the confidence in himself again. And I was talking to someone this weekend, I can't remember who, but Steven is the battle for making sure his body stays physically in healthy and working condition, and then Roman is more the mental battle and making sure that side is able to stay strong and focused. So really, who's to compare? They're the same human at this point. They're both very tall. They both do amazing things. So yeah, it's a battle. And then you're going to bring it down to Keegan, whereas not down to Keegan, he's just a lot shorter than them. And I'm interested to see how it's going to be, because these boys have really brought up their game this year. Keegan's been out for a little bit now, and he also struggles with his levels and consistency. But there's also a Keeganism that is incredible. So I don't know.
And sometimes, what do experts know? What do we know? And so what you're saying to me, it's going to be a battle of body, mind, and inches.
Inches, yeah.
Okay, yeah, all right. We, of course, have to talk about Alexa Rakic. He was 12th here. I really loved how much he has been exploring his creativity and skating skills. All three segments of his program components have improved, especially that free program by Benoit Richard. We will obviously, maybe we'll see him at another international, but if not, we will see him at nationals. Okay, that's all the competition, but before we go, of course, what was your yes, ma'am for Skate Canada International in Saskatoon, Caitlin?
Mine was very specifically Mone Chiba's double axel from the short program, and even more specifically, her landing position. I yell at people every day for their landing positions, and that was the perfect way for me to throw it in everyone's faces. She held it for a full 5 seconds, relaxing into that moment, and it is my favorite.
With a little head turn, no less. I think my yes, ma'am has got to go to Italy's Lara Naki-Gutman. I mean, I love both her programs, but that Jaws free program is just so unassuming. You wouldn't think that you would love Jaws. Every moment has a little detail that if you weren't watching, you'll miss it and you gotta rewatch it back. She is so creative. She's funky, she's cool, she's out there. She's doing something that the other women aren't doing, and she's doing it well.
Yeah, and you do need to watch that program 15 times over to catch all of the details, and you still probably won't catch it. I saw one that even she has fins on her eyeliner. Apparently, I don't know makeup. On her eyeliner, she drew fins onto her eyes. So every second is detailed in that program.
And I can't wait to see her skate that clean. She is such a talent. I think she's going to be a dark horse in this event. But that is it from Caitlin and I for Skate Canada International. We, of course, will be back with the NHK Trophy next week, and we will see the return of USA's ice dancers Alex and Maya Shibutani. I can't believe I'm saying that. And Sui and Han will be back for their second Grand Prix to make a push for the Grand Prix final with hopefully better calls on lifts. And you can, of course, catch that on CBC Gem starting November 7th. Caitlin, thank you.
Thank you, Asher.
And everybody, take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.
Adios.